Welcome to episode 26 of Leaders of Enchantment podcast. Today's podcast guest is Lindsey Kay, who is the Chief Executive Officer for Women's Economic Self-Sufficiency Team, otherwise known as WESST. WESST is a nonprofit and, quote, small business assistance organization committed to supporting individuals in New Mexico who want to start a business or improve the performance of an existing one, end quote. Their support services include business consulting, training, incubation, and access to capital. Lindsey is a native of South Carolina and holds degrees from Lander University, the University of New Mexico, and New Mexico Highlands University. Her passion lies in social work and environmental justice. She landed here in New Mexico nearly 2 decades ago, primarily due to her connection to the military. WESST is not the first nonprofit Lindsey has run. She founded Albuquerque-based Paws and Stripes in 2010, which pairs military veterans with service dogs. It's a super unique mission that has a dual purpose, supporting military veterans in need of significant in-home support and supporting and providing purpose and a long-term home for shelter dogs. Their program involves identifying at-risk shelter dogs, training them to become service animals, and placing them in military veteran homes, all at no cost to the veteran. A pretty darn cool mission, if you ask me. Finally, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that WEST is undergoing some significant challenges at the moment due to today's political climate. Nearly 60% of WEST's budget has historically come from federal sources, and much of this funding is now at risk. So we at Leaders of Enchantment podcast are sending positive energy and vibes to WEST. Anyway, with that, I bring you Lindsey Kay. Lindsey Kay, welcome to Leaders of Enchantment podcast.
Hi.
Who are you, and what is it you do in our fair state?
Goodness. So Lindsey Kay, as you mentioned, that's my name. What do I do? So I am a very proud resident of New Mexico. Currently, I am the president and CEO of WESST, Women's Economic Self-Sufficiency Team. We have offices all over the state of New Mexico. Our main building and center is in Albuquerque, where we also have a business incubator.
Yep.
Previously, I have been the executive director, founder of Paws and Stripes for about 14 years, and that is the sum total of my career living in New Mexico.
Yeah, that's right. Because in doing a little research, you're not from here.
Not originally, no.
Okay. Well, let's start there.
At the very beginning.
At the very beginning. So, Lindsey, where are you from?
South Carolina.
South Carolina. Okay, and that makes sense. So, of course, I always stalk people on LinkedIn. That's how I kind of prepare for this. And you went to a little tiny school that I had to Google and discover that it was in South Carolina. Okay.
Yep.
Why South Carolina? What'd your folks do?
Both sides of my family were pretty much always generations have lived in South Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, we just are from there. There's
Okay.
not much of an interesting story there, but my dad's side of the family, we're all pretty much from the low country, so sort of the marshlands of South Carolina.
Towards the coast?
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah, and my mom grew up in a little mill village called Belton in Anderson, South Carolina, but I was really lucky to grow up in Greenville, which is just a really cool city in the state. Yeah.
Okay.
I am biased.
Okay. Tell me what you were like as a kid. What you?
Oh man! Wow. Oh boy, I was a little social butterfly.
You were? Okay.
I was. I really loved the arts. I wasn't a kid that played sports.
You were okay. Not a sports kid.
No.
Arts kid. Okay.
I loved to play music. That's really music and theater were where I started as a kid.
Have you continued those interests to this day? Or as much as you can.
As much as I can.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Fair enough.
Not theater for a very long time. That's a little labor intensive for my life now. But I sure would love to. That would be so fun.
Okay.
But I grew up playing piano, singing with my mom. Played guitar in high school. I had a band.
So you're a bit of a performer.
I was. I was a little ham.
Okay.
I was also really engaged in all the things, president of the Art Alliance and the National Art Honor Society. So I've always been, a consistent thing about me, I've always been pretty busy.
Would you call yourself a leader? I mean, is that, stick yourself in a room with enough people and do you end up kind of being in charge?
I I guess it's true that has kind of happened pretty frequently in my life. I don't know if I need to, but I'm really comfortable in that space.
Yeah, and I don't mean from like a power trip or ego standpoint, but just in terms of, okay, people, what are we doing here? Let's go.
Plan?
Because I'm the same way. You throw me in a room with enough people, and generally speaking, I end up in charge. And it's not power trippy. It's more just, okay, what are we doing? All right, let's do this. Let's get after this.
Let's organize.
Yeah.
I do like to organize. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you siblings?
Yes, I grew up with a brother who's 7 years older than me.
Okay. Bit of an age gap.
Big age gap. Yeah, so there was a lot of my childhood after, because he moved out when he was 18, went to school.
Okay.
That was a lot like being an only child, which was fine. I kind of did well either way.
Yeah, because, I mean, assuming he left at 18, you'd have been 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I could see where that'd be kind of like being an only child. Okay. And are you guys still close to this day?
My whole family still lives in South Carolina.
Oh, really? You're kind of the odd duck
I am.
here in the Southwest?
I am. My mother likes to remind me regularly that I left, right? Because she misses me.
Okay.
But I'm the only one that sort of strayed, and that's sort of been the story of most of my family for generations. Okay. They've just really taken root there. But
well, you said your family goes back generations in that neighborhood. Okay. Well, now I'm curious about why you left, but we'll get there. So as a young child, bit of a performer, although you didn't pursue a career in that.
No, I wouldn't say that I am someone who needs to be the center of attention so much as I am really comfortable. There are folks I know who are really introverted, but they love theater. There is a space for both.
It's their one opportunity to let their hair down, so to speak. It's a very
different venue, right? So I think for me, I just really honestly enjoyed the arts component of it. Okay. And there's a really special community in theater and in art, especially, being in high school, I started with some friends, we started a band. And
what kind of music?
God, it was like pop punk.
Pop punk.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe kind of rock, but I started.
What'd you play?
I played guitar and I sang, and I did some keyboard. Okay. I kind of bopped around. I just like doing all the things.
Are you musically inclined? Like, does that come easy to you?
There are way more talented people. Way more talented than me. I think I like the experience of doing it with a group of folks. And having that,
because you like the sort of team camaraderie type.
Loved that.
Okay,
that was really special, and creating something together was
really Is that special. Who you are to this day? You're very much a team kind of person. Okay,
I love having a team. Yeah, I love working on teams.
Yeah, you and me both.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like being a one-man team. That's not fun.
You can do it, but you're not going to get as much out of it, right?
Not as much satisfaction. Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
That's cool. And so did you stay in the same place all the way through high school? Mm-hmm. You did?
Yeah.
Okay. Your folks are still in the same place, same home?
No. Okay. My parents are split, but they live in the same town.
Oh.
My dad still lives in pretty much the same neighborhood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But you're not going back to the family home when you visit and that sort of thing?
No, though I will say they've been in their respective homes they're in now for a couple decades. So
okay.
Once they relocated, they've been there.
Got it. Okay. And so again, I'm just sort of doing my math here. Looks like you went straight into higher ed at Lander University, which is the school I had to Google because I'd never heard of it.
It's a little liberal arts school.
Okay, yeah. So you went straight in, so graduate high school, boom. Next fall, you were entered there.
I was there.
And you didn't get a degree though, correct? It looks like you attended and it just says visual arts.
I did. I was originally I was going to go. So that was 2004.
Correct.
And thank you for checking. Yes.
According to LinkedIn, you are correct.
This was a while ago. Holy smokes. It was 21 years ago. And then the concept of art therapy was less common. You couldn't really go to most universities and pursue art therapy in the same. It's still now a really specific like niche area for. They have a program in Santa Fe now, but they just didn't have that.
Unpack that for me. Art therapy.
Sure. So. Essentially using art interventions in a therapeutic setting, right? So I was interested in exploring that as a career. I was, again, really involved in the arts, really dedicated to the arts. Mm-hmm. I was also really interested in psychology and ultimately how could I help people with art?
And that's kind of a theme. I mean, as I was preparing for this, kind of social work, and I put quotes around that. Well, just because that's very broad.
Sure.
But that seems fair enough. That seems to be your passion, is kind of helping others. I mean,
sure, absolutely.
You've been, your career has been spent in nonprofits. Mm-hmm. Why does that scratch a certain itch for you, or
scratch an itch? I think it's just a really important component of who I am.
Okay.
And, just like we were talking about, really valuing being on a team, being a part of a team. To me, that is sort of an extension of that, right? The reason one of the reasons that I love being on a team is you get to really support one another and lift each other up.
Sure.
And the same is to say about how you serve the community around you. If you look at on the more of a macro level, we're all neighbors, we're all community members, we're all sharing the same space and resources. Mm-hmm. And when we're able to really prioritize supporting one another in various ways, that only helps elevate the community.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that, right there, that's your passion.
Yep.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so you spend a couple years at Lander University, and then based on my research, the the trail goes a little cold.
This is the most thorough interview I've ever had.
Okay, so 2006, you're done at Lander, and then at some point you emerge here in the land of enchantment. So catch me up there.
Well, I moved around a little bit for a bit. I spent some time in Kansas, and in the middle of my 4-year program at Lander is when I moved.
Okay.
I had hoped
And
that...
why were you moving around?
I
what
followed,
were you doing?
My partner at the time, I followed to Kansas.
Okay. For their employment?
Military, yeah.
Oh, military.
Joined the military. So that's where the Big Red One is.
Okay.
In Junction City, Kansas.
Okay.
Which is a town that's about this big. And I had hoped that I could sort of move, or once I moved, that I could continue higher ed from there, and it was just not quite as easy as I would have liked.
Logistically very challenging, and this was before Zoom?
Yes.
Yeah.
Way before all of that. Right?
Yeah, no, I get it.
But one of the important things that this really shaped for me is in this particular moment of my life when I was in Kansas and I wasn't, I was taking this hiatus from college. I started working in veterinary clinics.
Okay, I'm starting to put two and two together.
Yeah, which I had no previous experience working in a veterinary clinic or any formal experience in animal rescue, but I loved animals.
By the way, how did you meet your partner that was in the military that you followed to Kansas? Did you meet them back in school? At Lander?
We lived in Greenville. We both lived in Greenville.
Okay. And they joined the military, and you said, "Hey, I'll follow you to your next assignment."
And so we're seeing a theme of military introduced in my life. We're seeing a theme of dogs showing up in a certain kind of way. Yeah.
Pets and military. I kind of see where this is going. Okay.
The lines are forming.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
And so how did you end up landing in New Mexico?
So I had visited New Mexico
just
with a
holidays, vacation kind of deal?
Yeah, we were invited by a friend. We just went. It sounded like a good idea. So, and I have to say, from the moment that I arrived, it felt like, oh, this place is special.
Really?
Yeah.
What about it? What struck you? The first impressions, what struck you?
Everyone from back home, from South Carolina, talks about how green it is, and it's so lush and green.
In South Carolina, because you're not talking
real humid.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the landscape of New Mexico is very different from that, but it's also incredibly varied. And I was struck at just the raw beauty of the landscape, how different it is. But all of the people are just so friendly, so diverse. It's such an eclectic, multicultural space, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And honestly, whether I feel like this resonates for a lot of people in New Mexico, if not, whatever.
Yeah.
It's a little maybe woo-woo, but it just feels right, honestly.
Woo-woo?
Yes.
You're going to have to define woo-woo.
I can't define for you.
Okay. All right. I'll Google it later.
It just feels right. I think.
And did it hit you
Yeah.
like you were here and like, oh wow, this
This
is my place.
This is a special
These are my
place.
people.
Yeah. Yep.
And so you had
was that simple.
So
Yeah.
you had holidayed here, and then at what point did the potential to relocate present itself?
It was just over a year later, actually. So I got here pretty quick.
So you spent a year in Kansas?
I was in Kansas and Texas for a little bit, bounced around
Okay.
just a little bit, but
From military
kind of
installation to
like slowly made
Okay.
my way.
Scooching a little closer
Little
to
bit closer.
the state. Okay.
But as soon as that window opened to be able to relocate, I was on it.
And what was it? What was the opportunity that allowed you to relocate here?
So at the time, partner was coming out of the military. There was family
So
here.
discharging. Yep. Got it.
Yep. And so
By the way, what branch?
Army.
Army. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I will always have a very soft place in my heart for Army.
Go Army.
Yes. I can hear the grumbles from the other branches from far away at saying that.
We're all
love
Americans.
the Army. Yeah.
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 Okay. Okay. So he was discharging, and were you guys sort of like, okay, what's next? What are we doing?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's and that's also a really important moment, I think, because so my partner at the time, coming out of the military, really reconciling some injuries that were creating some health issues
that he sustained when he was enlisted. Okay.
So traumatic brain injury and PTSD.
Okay.
Again.
Was he in conflict areas? Did he?
Yes.
Was he deployed in conflict? Okay, got it.
So it was sort of that restart, right? What's next?
Yeah, I get it.
I was really young, so and trying to sort of figure out how to support my partner. Everything, we were starting over brand new here in New Mexico.
So you guys
2010.
relocated together to New Mexico?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And I had spent all this time working in veterinary clinics doing rescue work, and it just made sense to me that I think he needs a dog.
Wait, up until that point you did not have animals?
No, I did, but
Oh.
like he needs his own.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I misunderstood.
Yeah,
Okay, got it.
He needs a dog, and I had adopted a dog from a shelter that ended up just being the most amazing creature.
They usually are.
They are.
Yeah,
I mean,
shelter
and there are a
dogs.
lot of them, right? I've
Yeah.
had so many,
Yeah.
and I can't pick favorites. But when I think about how this was sort of the genesis of Paws and Stripes, her name was Sarge, and she really was incredibly special. Yeah.
Okay.
So I just was thinking more and more as I would observe them working together. There's got to be more to this.
Okay.
There's this natural support I see her providing to him. I think there's more training that could happen to really build on this. I wonder if you could have a service dog to help with brain injuries and post-traumatic stress disorder. This was 2010. Called around.
That's when you relocated to New Mexico? Got it.
Called around. This was in the first few months of living in New Mexico. Called around a lot of organizations, and I say a lot. There were not very many organizations. We're talking
And
a
so
few.
you were seeking
Yes.
support,
Yes.
and then presumably didn't find sort of exactly what you were looking for, and you're like, well, I guess I'm gonna do my own thing.
That's
Is that-
exactly what happened. Yeah, that's a good summation.
Okay.
And it
How
all came
very
together really
entrepreneurial
quickly.
of you.
Isn't it? Isn't that interesting?
Okay.
I
Okay.
definitely have that
I love it.
entrepreneurial spirit. Oh, yeah.
So you identified a gap in the marketplace. That's
Did.
how we like to say it here in the venture world. And you were going, and a gap in the marketplace with a very real market pain that you wanted to go address.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I love
But
it.
I will say, in the very beginning, I didn't anticipate that it would be like career level, a full-time job where, you know what I mean? I
Interesting.
was just thinking maybe it could help a few people. This could be an
And
extracurricular
specifically
thing.
your partner.
Yes.
Oh, got it.
I don't think that I fully comprehended the scale that it could reach when
Like,
I was at the very beginning.
Be careful what you wish for.
I mean, truly. I'd had no sort of career aspirations from
Okay.
this. It was really
Okay.
just very focused on trying to address this need. And what happened is that I realized very quickly there were so many other people that were also in need of this. So once I sort of put it out into the world, I had so many folks approaching, oh, actually, can I talk to you about
So
a dog
tell me
as
about
well?
those early days. So again, there's I'm looking for a specific kind of support. I'm not finding it. Therefore, I'm going to do it on my own. At that point, you'd had no experience in starting, running nonprofit, but you just said, I'm just going to go for it. I actually don't know how to. I know how you found companies. I don't know how you found nonprofit. I assume you go to the, I don't know, New Mexico Secretary of State and file a 501c3.
Oh, no, it's definitely more involved.
Oh, it's way more complicated? Okay.
Don't put it out there that it's easy to start a nonprofit because it
Okay.
is not.
No.
Yeah.
I certainly don't want to. So tell me how that works. So,
Oh, gosh. So,
because you're a startup CEO, so as I like to say, you're both chief salesman and chief janitor. You're
yeah.
everything.
You are everything.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And when it's, and there are a whole lot of similarities between startup and business, for-profit business, and
Yep.
nonprofit. You just
Yep.
have some different challenges, but a
Yep.
lot of it is pretty similar.
Okay.
So yeah, you have to file this really hefty form called 1021 form to
with
apply
the
for
state
your
of, with the state of New Mexico.
That's with
okay.
the IRS.
So it's with the IRS.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
The paperwork you file with the state is not quite as cumbersome.
Okay.
There are a few things you have to file with the state.
I guess that
but-
makes sense because you're tax exempt and
Exactly.
they can't just hand that out like candy.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Fair enough.
I was fortunate enough that we had a local attorney that was willing to help us pro bono.
Oh,
because
excellent. Okay.
It was way out of my depth.
Okay.
I just
Okay.
saw that big old packet, and that was very intimidating.
Okay. So they
I got
helped
some
you
help.
with the logistics side of things, and then how about messaging? Obviously, you've got to plug into the community. You mentioned earlier that you eventually found a lot of folks, presumably, that were finding that they needed this service that just didn't exist. This is mostly before social media. I guess
Yeah,
Facebook was around.
It wasn't quite like it is. No.
How did you get your message out? How did you get awareness out?
Well, one of the things about New Mexico is word of mouth really is a powerful thing.
Yep.
So there's that. And the military community is vast, but it is pretty tight. So.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Because I started this work with Paws in May of 2010. So I had been living in New Mexico for all of 5 months. So I did not have a vast network of folks that knew me out here.
Yep.
So I started with sort of my tiny little circle that I had.
Military folks. Yep.
And folk, that are connected somehow. Primarily the veteran community. So folks who are not active duty anymore.
Got it.
And also sort of in the rescue space.
Okay.
Talking to folks in animal rescue.
Okay.
Because sort of the value proposition initially is we're going to help you adopt these dogs that you have so many dogs and they're great dogs in the shelter.
Okay.
We can help you adopt them because we need dogs to train. So if you help us, we can help you. This is sort of the initial arrangement that we had. And then we
That's
had
actually kind of
trainers.
cool because you're helping on their mission.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because we had no budget initially. This is all volunteer. So the request that we had is, you waive the fees, we adopt the dog, we become responsible for that.
Got it.
It's not like we were pumping out 50 adoptions, right? It was a few dogs at a time. So it was pretty helpful, I think.
Okay, and
on
let
that
me
scale.
pause you for a moment. Give me the kind of mission of the Paws. Well, give me the mission early on, and then of Paws and Stripes, and then did that mission evolve? I mean, you ran it for 15 years, so.
Oh, it definitely evolved. So initially, the mission was we want to. So conceptually, I'm thinking we need to help dogs and we need to help veterans. So we'll use rescue dogs because there's great dogs in the
Really?
shelter.
So you sort of had this dual mission: help pets, and help veterans.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
How do we help both? The other piece that was really important was that we didn't want to charge veterans for the services.
Got it. So everything's got to be free.
Yep, which
Okay.
is a pretty hefty endeavor
No,
if
I
you
get
think
it.
about it.
I get it. I get it.
So we wanted to train the dogs to be of service to folks who had brain injuries and PTSD.
So these are not just companions. These are
Right.
service. These are working
Right.
dogs.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And so
we-
training is not trivial.
Right.
Okay.
We needed the right trainers. We were fortunate that initially we had local trainers that were willing to work with us. That was basically all we paid for, but it was
Okay, so they
we
weren't
did
working
pay
pro
them.
bono.
No,
You
but
had
they
to pay
gave
them.
us. All we were really paying for was that because everything else it was just mostly labor.
That was
we
your
were doing
only.
for
That was
free.
your one and only expense early
We were
on.
only focused on training at that point.
Got it. Got it.
We want to find a home for these dogs. We want to train them to assist these veterans. Everybody wins.
Got it.
That's
Got
where
it.
the whole evolution piece comes in, where we learned a lot
Got
in those
it.
first
And
few
so-
years that we need a little bit more than that to be a really effective program.
So explain to me how this would work early on. So would you identify a veteran with a need?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here's a cool dog. They meet. Okay, yeah, I like you. You know. Okay, now dog's got to go off to doggy university. And they come back 6 months later. And I'm just shooting from the hip here, but
Sure.
is that kind of how it worked?
No.
Okay.
But I will say traditionally, sort of the traditional service dog model, as far as a training program, you would have trainers work with the dog. The term we would use is purpose-bred dogs. So
Got
you're
it.
getting a dog from breeders.
Got it.
Usually specific breeds you would work with. The dog lives in home with the trainer as a puppy and then sort of moves through different milestones in training for the first couple years of its life. And then they pair a client, someone who needs a dog, with a dog who's already been trained.
Wow, multiple years. So you are making a serious investment in that animal.
Yes, it's
Okay.
a huge investment because there's
Got
the
it.
veterinary care, breeders, and paying for, you have those relationships, puppy care. You also tend to see somewhere around a 43% rate of sort of a washout rate. So even though you have dogs in these traditional programs that are coming through as puppies, almost half of them don't make it to being fully
Really?
trained service
They
dogs.
flunk out of doggy university?
Not every dog wants to be a service dog
Okay.
too, right? Not every dog can. They might have
Okay.
a health issue.
Okay.
They might not be interested in the work.
Okay.
Maybe they're a better therapy dog, or
Okay,
right. So
okay.
you have that. We were doing it very different.
Okay.
I was not, nor am I now, a dog trainer.
Okay.
Full disclaimer.
Yeah, yeah.
Worked with dog trainers. So when you introduce when you introduce shelter dogs into the
Because that's where you're
concept-
different. So
Yes.
you're not working with purpose-bred
Right.
dogs. You're working with whatever you get.
Yep. So we had to build a very
I
different
really
model.
dig that. That is super cool. And again, it comes back to your dual mission.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
No shade on dogs that folks get from breeders.
Yeah.
That just wasn't our mission.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it.
So we are working with dogs that are not puppies. So they already have hit some sort of a maturity level. We started with, we would like the dog to be somewhere between 2 and 4.
So you did have an age cutoff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Got it.
We did not necessarily have breed restrictions. And it was about a mutual connection between the veteran and the dog was a really
So you
important
would make the
component.
match
Yes.
first before you invested the time to train the dog.
Exactly. Which inherently brings its own challenges. However, we found that there was value to training both together for the entire duration of the
That's
program.
cool. That
And-
makes total sense.
Yes, and
okay.
that's what's referred to as an owner-trainer model. So
Okay.
it's a very different structure.
So you're training both at the same time.
Yes.
Love it. Love it.
You're empowering the veteran to learn how to do all of these things themselves. When you have folks with brain injuries, it's really beneficial that they're in this space of learning and repetition,
Sure.
and they're having that ownership.
Sure.
And also, when you're working with folks that have post-traumatic stress disorder, one of the things about PTSD is it makes your world really small. You tend to isolate more.
Yeah.
It looks different for everyone, but this is something that we would commonly see
Okay.
with our clients.
Okay.
And when you're training service dogs with their person, part of that means you have to get out in public and you're engaging in different environments because the dog has to socialize to that. They have to be able to perform these skills in various environments. So that also means we're gradually getting the client out into more and more challenging.
Out of their comfort zone a little bit. Got it. Okay.
So there were a lot of different benefits that we were noticing were coming out of this model, and the way that ended up evolving was within the first few years is really recognizing that we're not just training dogs, we're also really providing a very specific model of care for these individuals. So it evolved into this model that incorporates community care. So we had group training classes, you and your dog and other folks with their dog in a group class, one-on-one out in public in various environments, and you also with your dog, and then you also have individual therapy, and you have group therapy or psych ed. So you have all of these different components. You're bringing in this peer support component, different ways that you're learning and being challenged, and then you have that mental health support component along the way as well.
Got it.
And another aspect that was always really powerful for many years was providing the opportunity for a lot of these individuals to share their story. And there can be a lot of healing involved in having that opportunity to really tell your own story and own that, and really grow from that point forward, and have different empowerment and autonomy just in how you show up in the world.
Yeah.
We saw folks do things like go to law school. I will never forget one photo that I got from one client who sent a picture of him walking his daughter down the aisle, which he didn't think he would ever be alive long enough to do, and had his dog next to him in the picture. We had a client who went to Vegas with their dog.
Okay.
Yep. Traveling trains, planes, and automobiles, just the way people were able to just say, hey, I've always wanted to do this thing. I'm going to do this thing.
Yeah.
Just countless stories. And yeah.
Tell me about the evolution of the organization. You were there a long time, 14 years.
Yeah.
That's so
That's
so you started off presumably as a one-person team, and then over time grew to now have a team, which you talked about how important that is to you. Tell me, I mean, just tell me about that evolution for that organization.
Well, I'll say I never did anything by myself. There was always someone along the way to help in some capacity, whether it was volunteers, a lot of family members of our first clients were really involved. But the community at large, I think, talking about how I just sort of knew right away when I came to New Mexico that this was a special place. In the very beginning of starting Paws, my partner and I actually were experiencing houselessness.
Oh, okay.
As I'm trying to start this program.
So you were homeless while starting up holy cow.
But the reason that we were able to move through that and come and rise up out of that situation was because the community was so supportive.
Okay. So you found resources,
Absolutely.
You found a support network. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And honestly, being able to be in a space where I was doing this work to help others was incredibly powerful too.
Okay.
And so it was the community as a whole, whether we're talking about donors, volunteers, all those things, really helped make Paws and its growth possible.
Okay.
People would get very excited about.
I mean, it's a cool mission.
Yeah. It's a pretty cool mission. Yeah. Incredibly rewarding.
Yeah. How at the end of the day, everything comes down to dollars and cents, right? So how were you funding it? Was it strictly private donors, a little bit of grants, state, fed?
First couple years, so I wasn't paid for almost 2 years.
Okay.
It was probably about a year and a half that I wasn't paid.
Okay.
And so it was a lot of begging for money, a lot of guerrilla fundraising, going to events and asking for money, presenting at different clubs.
Mostly here in New Mexico, or were you
much
traveling around nationally?
Mostly in New Mexico. We did a little bit in Texas because we had some ties in Texas, but by and large, it was really just here.
Okay. And how did you find that challenging, or did it kind of sell itself, or?
It was an easy mission to sell. People would get very excited about it because it is a really, really cool mission. And I felt like, and I have always felt like, folks usually did not have a hard time connecting to either helping dogs or helping veterans, right? Those things are so relatable.
By and large, that's one of those boxes is going to check for somebody.
Absolutely. And so it was really easy to really convey the importance of what we were doing. And plus, people would see folks out in the community with these dogs, and they could just see it right there in front of them. Right?
Got it.
So... But I will say fundraising's hard.
But then breaking open a checkbook is another thing. That's
a whole
another
different
step.
Thing.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I mean, I know that it's not everybody's favorite thing. Some people it is, but networking is so incredibly important, especially in New Mexico.
Heck yeah, it is. Heck yeah.
So there was a lot of that in the beginning, so that I could just learn how to build relationships, and eventually, through introductions and getting to know people and more people learning about the work that we were doing, we did have the opportunity to ask for one of our very first grants. And part of the grant, it was a restricted grant. So basically they said, here's how much money you can have, and we want you to spend it on these things.
Here's what you want to do. Mm-hmm. Here's what you're allowed to do with it.
And one of the things was they said, part of this needs to go to you paying yourself.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes you don't get that. You get just the opposite. Here's a grant, but you're not allowed to.
Yes.
You're not allowed to pay any overhead. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, how do I keep the lights on?
Exactly.
How do I have health care? How do I have 401k? That sort of thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And so my little $35,000 annual salary was in place, and I was just going.
Okay. For the record, I didn't ask.
But it was a big deal. It was a big deal.
Well, to be able to pay yourself, I get it. Okay.
Most people don't go into nonprofit because they're trying to make a killing, right? Yep. I was just really excited to be able to do the work and for it to be more sustainable because I was being compensated. Totally. And that was just my life for a very long time after that. So, fundraising's hard, but also, working in human services is hard.
Yeah.
And you really, it has to be something that you love to do.
I mean, people come in every stripe and color and so on and so forth.
Sure. Yeah. And their own, and when you're working with folks in this space with trauma, right, that's heavy.
Heavy. Yeah, okay. You talk about fundraising being hard. In those early days, were you uncomfortable asking for money? Was it awkward, or were you just like, I'm so passionate about this mission, I'm going to shake every tree, and I'm going to shake it hard?
That one. I definitely was shaking every tree.
Okay.
Now, I was 24 when I started this, so I was very young, I was very inexperienced, and the only reason I was able to move forward with this is because I just dove in.
Did you find that people had a hard time taking you serious because of your age and your lack of experience?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
Okay. And but you just plowed ahead?
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. Man, Lindsey, you are an entrepreneur. You should go do a startup.
Oh, man. I don't know. This nonprofit work keeps me pretty busy.
Okay. All right. Well, after we finish the recording, I'll show you some of our portfolio companies. We'll see if any of them stick. Okay, so I asked you the question before. You sort of danced around it. Sure. I don't implying purposely, but what did that? So again, you start the thing off. You're not even took a year and a half to just get a stinking paycheck. Mm-hmm. 14 years later, what did the organization look like?
Oh yes. So fast forward.
Yeah.
So really, the organization grew to a place where we were receiving federal funding. We had grown to a almost $2 million annual budget.
Okay, so that's not bad.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
A staff of almost 20 folks.
By the way, silly question. How much does it cost, start to finish, to train a dog?
Man, people love that question.
I'm just curious.
I know. It's not the same for every person.
Really?
So it's not a cookie cutter program. Okay. Everybody has individual needs. We're providing mental health support. So you customize to the pair of the individual and the animal. Yep.
Okay.
Everybody doesn't start and finish at the exact same amount of time. They don't have the exact same needs in mental health and support. And also there's a lot of folks who maybe they graduate with their dog, but then they come back to us to continue some therapy for support, right? So there's a lot of variability in that.
Got it.
That it's a really hard question to answer, right? There was a time where we said $2,500 back in 2012, but I can tell you that's not it anymore.
Well, there's also this thing called inflation.
It's a little bit of a factor. Yeah, for sure. So
interesting. Did you stay true to your mission about no cost to the veteran?
Yes.
At any point? Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It was actually a big deal to be able to provide, because we continued to grow the scope of services that we would provide to folks, but we didn't grow the cost to them. We kept it free, which meant our budget continued to grow, but we weren't. There wasn't additional funding that we were, say, pulling from individuals for services. So, we really, what it evolved to is we really leaned even harder into that mental health support component being more of the foundation to what we were doing, because it informed how we were doing the dog training. It informed how we were making decisions and treatment planning for folks.
Okay.
It also allowed us to really be more equipped on how we were helping folks and further individualizing.
Okay.
So I think that that was the arc. We started with the dog, but we really, really built around that initial concept this much stronger support in providing way more services in terms of therapeutic support services, because the dog is amazing, but the dog ain't gonna fix everything.
No, totally,
right?
totally. Okay, so let's wrap up with Paws and Stripes. So 14-year journey, and by the way, this is where you and I are very, very, very aligned. Except I'm coming from the tech startup scene, so I spun a company out of the University of Colorado Boulder, so I birthed it. And I raised it. In my case, I think I ended up running it for, 11 years. So, that was my baby. Mm-hmm. This is your baby. Just like me, you made a decision to step down from your baby. Why for you?
14 years is a long time in and of itself.
Yeah.
But I would suggest that, at least for me, it felt like a lot in those 14 years. It almost felt like more than 14 years.
Yeah, well, I get it. Yeah, especially those early years.
Yes.
Those were decades.
Truly. And I like to call that nonprofit years.
Yeah.
I had put so much of myself into this work, and I am still and have always been incredibly proud of that. Mm-hmm. And I cherish the folks that have made it possible along the way and those relationships. And I think I reached the point where I sort of took a step back and I think I've accomplished all the things that I should and can.
My job is done here.
I think I've done it, right? I was saying, we've received this amazing federal suicide prevention grant from Congress. Mm-hmm. We have a talented staff. They all are working together beautifully. Mm-hmm. We have this wonderful culture. I have a leadership directorate that's great. Mm-hmm. I think it's time.
Okay.
It's got this, right? Paws is Paws, and it's got this.
Doesn't need Lindsey anymore.
Yeah. Which is the best case scenario, I think, for a founder, to be able to say that and to be...
But it's also unusual. Not everyone can do that and say, sort of push away from the table at Thanksgiving. I've had enough.
Yeah. I don't, I think I spent so much time at the beginning with Paws being so intricately woven into who I was, and I was so woven into who Paws was.
It was your identity.
Yeah. And so to really kind of finally move into this space where we were two separate things, right? Paws isn't Lindsey, Lindsey's not Paws.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
It was, it had finally sort of gotten to that space and I could walk away, and I felt it just was the perfect moment.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay. Yeah. Was it a person? So was it you identified someone that you felt comfortable could slide into your seat and take over, or was it?
No, I had.
Or did you hand the baton off to the board and let them?
That one.
You did.
I did. Yep.
Okay.
That became the board's burden to sort of go through that whole process.
Okay.
It's a process. We had a great, and I mean, it still has a great board. So yeah, that was sort of their burden to, and then my endeavor was to sort of tie things up, right, with the team.
Got it. Provide a nice handover package, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you decompress at all? Because I'm doing my math here on LinkedIn, and you ended in May of 24, and you didn't start at WESST until January. Did you go on a walkabout?
Oh no. I started at WESST May 15th, 2024.
Oh, that's right, because you didn't step into the executive director role initially. Okay.
Let me tell you, 2024 was an eventful year.
Okay.
No, May 1st was my last day of Paws.
Okay.
I graduated from grad school.
Okay.
And then I started at WESST. So no, I didn't really get a decompression period.
Wow. Did you at least go out to dinner?
I don't remember.
That's
Probably.
cool. Hey, apologies. I missed the education part. So you, fair to say, during Paws and Stripes, you did go back. You got a bachelor's at UNM, and then you
Finished it finally. Yeah.
Okay, so you finally you took care of unfinished business with the bachelor's, and then you went to Highlands, New Mexico Highlands up in Las Vegas for master's. Was the bachelor's just always kind of gnawing at you, unfinished business, like I need to wrap that up?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And UNM made sense? Just
It did.
in your backyard?
I sort of had this weird piecemealed degree halfway done from trying to create a focus.
From years before. Yep.
And UNM had an interdisciplinary program that allowed me to sort of continue that way in their liberal arts school.
Okay.
So I was able to build my own sort of degree plan with an advisor.
And just roughly, what was that? What was your focus?
So I had all of these this huge art component. And so the second half where I was finishing up, I was focusing on counseling, anthropology.
Anthropology? Uh-huh. Okay, that's a bit of an outlier.
So the idea is thinking about people and communities and society, right? And there's that historical aspect.
Fair enough.
And I had this piece already with art history and art itself.
Okay.
So kind of piecing those together.
But all with a therapy angle.
Yes. And I think I had a couple other psychology classes to button it up. But most of what I had sort of brought into that was art and psychology. And so I just finished it up with this interdisciplinary degree.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did you have a good experience at UNM?
I did. Okay. It's really interesting classes. I finished in 2020. So it was really...
During COVID?
Yes. It was during...
Like May of 20... Man. Was that... Were you spring of 2020?
I was in school spring of 2020. I finished December, technically. But that last semester was real weird. Yeah.
Fall of 2020? I can imagine.
It was.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Everyone was still trying to figure out...
Presumably you did it all on Zoom, right?
It ended up,
Okay.
That last semester and a half pretty much converted to Zoom.
Okay.
Which was still when everyone was adjusting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you wanted to go and get another degree. Why? I guess why that and why Highlands? And it looked again, according to my math, took you about 3 years. So presumably you did that nights and weekends kind of thing.
It was a part-time.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay. Why Highlands?
Highlands has a social work concentration in leadership and administration, which is essentially a macro social work focus.
Okay.
And it really felt like it built on my existing experience.
Got it. So it was just a great fit.
Yep.
Okay. And how was your experience there? Was that all distance?
It was, yeah. Okay. It was pretty much 100% virtual.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are some really great instructors at Highlands, and there's some that I still talk to today.
That's cool.
So it's a really cool community internally that they have.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've never really touched Highlands. I don't know the organization that well.
It's so funny. It's like when you get a car and then you see that car out in the world all the time. Now that I've graduated to Highlands, I meet so many people that have degrees from Highlands.
Are you involved at all, like an alumni association or anything like that?
No, I wish I could.
You just don't have the bandwidth?
I just don't have the bandwidth.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a lot going on. So why WESST? Well, first of all, what is WESST?
So WESST is, on the face of it, I think, assumed to be this predominantly an economic development organization, right? Because we help folks start, grow, and sustain their businesses in New Mexico. Okay. We work with small business.
Got it. And by the way, it is an acronym, correct?
Yes, WEST is Women's Economic Self-Sufficiency Team.
Got it. Okay.
So WEST was founded in the late 80s in a response to women finally being able to start and own their own business without having to have a male partner, sign off on it. That
was the original kind of mission, was empowering women as entrepreneurs.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. I love it. And how old is it? When was it founded?
1989.
And is it strictly a New Mexico organization?
It is.
Okay.
It is a part of a network of similar organizations in other states supported
Got it.
by the Small Business
But WESST is
Administration.
exclusively
Yep.
focused on the state of New Mexico.
It
Got
is.
it. Okay.
It is.
Okay.
It was founded by 3 women who recognized we have to help women.
Yeah.
We have to give them the resources they need so that they can have their own businesses.
I love it. I love it.
Fast forward 35 years, 36 years later, WESST serves everybody in New Mexico.
Okay, so it's no longer just exclusively women focused. Okay.
Right. About 88% of our clients are women, for women-owned businesses.
Okay. Okay.
But we'll serve anybody that comes to us
Got
that
it.
needs help.
Got it. And what's a typical client for you? So when you say who needs help, what kind of help do I need that I would end up at your doorstep?
So you could be someone who has an idea and
Oh,
wanting
really?
to start your business,
Huh.
and we can start from there.
Okay.
So we do mentoring and consulting and
Okay.
training.
Okay.
So it's equipping you with all the skills and knowledge that you need to get where you are going. But we also have a lending program, and we provide microloans. We have a really accessible lending program.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really fast loans. It's paired with technical assistance. It's paired with support. So when you come to us because you want a loan, you have there's better access to it, but you're also going to get a ton of support and education attached to that. We're going to help you get your business plan put together. We're going
Got
to
it.
help you figure out your cash projections for what you're trying to accomplish, whether
Right.
you are
So you're not just tossing checks over the fence.
Right,
You
right.
are. You're leaning in.
Yes,
Pretty
we're building
extensively.
relationships. A lot of
Okay.
what we do is rooted in relationship. And so we have an incredibly low default rate on our loans because we provide so much support around it. So once you get that
Yeah.
loan, you're way more likely to be successful with that because we're there with you the whole way.
Okay. Okay.
So those are some of the ways, and it could also be that you've had a business for many years
Yeah.
and you want to grow it, or you need to stabilize it.
Oh, this is awesome. I love it.
We can help with pretty much all of that.
And for the micro lending, where does your capital come from? Do you have a lending partner that you work with, or is it?
So we have the SBA.
Okay, got it.
They
So the
provide
feds.
funding for that. So yes, we do receive funds that go into our lending program from the feds, but we also work with a lot of banking partners.
Got it. Got it.
So there are a lot of folks that sort of participate in supporting our lending program.
Okay.
This year, for the second year in a row, we received Micro Lender of the Year from SBA in New Mexico. Which is pretty
Yay.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Congrats.
But we are more than just helping start and grow businesses. We are more than economic development, because really the way I see the way that we interact is we're this incredibly important component of this community care,
Yep.
just like Paws,
Yep.
here in New Mexico, to help remove barriers so that folks can really start to develop their own generational wealth. They can start developing their own access
I love
to their
that.
own resources,
I love
doing
that.
things that they love and
Okay.
that mean something to them.
Okay.
And this only helps us contribute to building more resiliency across the state of New Mexico.
Got it. I love it. I love it. So you initially joined WESST in a support function, but then quickly moved into the executive director role. How did that present it?
Yeah,
Was that by design or just happenstance? Okay. Okay.
I'm laughing because, I spent as many years as I did as an executive director at one organization. I moved to this position at WESST initially as the vice president of client services,
Okay.
so overseeing all the women's business centers across the state.
Got it.
And so I did that for about 8 months. When I came into the role,
Let me guess, looking over the shoulder of the then current executive director.
well, when I applied for the job, I didn't know that Agnes was planning to retire this past year.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
that's what prompted the change.
I did not know.
Okay.
So right after I came on board is when I found out, and initially
That was the plan.
that she was
Okay.
planning to retire. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So at first it was cool. I just went through this. I can be a resource. Cool.
Okay. So you weren't
as-
thinking of yourself as a candidate
Not
just
right
yet?
away.
Okay.
No, I wasn't. I had.
Were you almost like, no, I've been there, done that. I'm not sure if I want that responsibility again.
So at the beginning of this, when you said, if you find yourself in a room full of people,
Do you end up in charge?
and I said, well, I don't have to. I don't need that inherently. I think initially it wasn't so I'm gonna go for this. I think I was really just focused right away on learning the job that I had just been hired to do.
Sure.
And really learning and understanding this new organization and really wrapping my arms around the type of work and impacts that we were making.
Yep.
As time progressed, it was very funny. We were I had so many people call me and say, so we saw that there was an announcement that I guess Agnes is retiring. Does that mean that you're applying? So I think that
Was there literally a job posting on the street?
She announced her retirement, I want to say August last year.
Okay.
And I think
And that was a public announcement?
Yeah.
As in like WESST put out a PR and everything? Okay.
A press release. And I think just by virtue of I exited, there was a press release that was out that I was exiting Paws, and then a press release that I arrived at WESST, and then there was a press release that Agnes is retiring.
So it just seems like a very natural...
A lot of, it almost created its own rumor mill, all on its own.
Okay.
And after just a lot of different conversations at WESST and with different folks that, in my support network, I finally decided, okay, I think I'll apply for it. And so I did, and I went through...
Did they run a formal process?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
There was a search firm that ran the process and everything. And it took, 4 months or so. We had candidates, I think.
Were you the only internal candidate?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went through all those interviews
Sure.
and talked with the board, and which was also kind of funny because I was so brand new on staff that I don't even think everyone on the board really had, no one had really had the time to really get to know much about me at that point because I had only attended maybe 2 board meetings at that time.
Wow.
So I was brand spanking new.
Okay.
So I kind of started to get to know the board through
Which is kind of
interviews.
cool because you're an internal candidate, but you're kind of not because you're so new. And so from the board's perspective, you kind of look like all the other candidates.
Yeah, it was an interesting window to be in.
Okay. Okay.
And it was also kind of a fun. Those interviews were really. So I have to say that the WESST board has been just so wonderful to work with, and folks tend to usually be intimidated by boards, and especially if you're going into a job interview,
Sure.
you're nervous. But they just made it so easy because
cool.
they were just so
That's
wonderful.
Cool. Okay. Shout out to the WESST board.
Yeah, truly.
Okay.
And so I think it was just before Thanksgiving that I found out that they were going to offer me the job.
Okay. So 6 months ago. Okay. And then again, according to LinkedIn, you are the executive director effective January
1st.
Yep.
Yeah.
So just a few months. And so usually when a new leader comes into an organization, they sort of have their own stamp that they want to put on things. What's Lindsey's stamp?
I have to say it's really something to, in such a short period of time, experience being a founder exiting and then being someone coming in behind essentially a founder of an organization, right? Agnes?
You mentioned Agnes. Was she
33 years.
Was she one of the founders?
She wasn't one of the founders. However, she has been with WESST since 1990.
Okay, so she got in pretty much on the ground floor.
1991.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
she's much like being a founder because she built that organization
So
to the size.
Yeah,
and
you
to
knew
the
what she was
capacity
going
it
through.
is.
That was her baby.
Yeah, absolutely.
You had just left your baby.
Yes.
I know that sounds kind of a harsh analogy.
just left my baby.
You left your baby.
Yeah.
And you were contemplating taking over someone else's baby.
Yeah.
So you knew exactly what she was going through. That's cool.
So I think I wasn't thinking, how does Lindsey? It wasn't about me.
Yeah.
Right. One of the things.
But by no means did I imply that when I say your stamp, but it's more like, great. This is because that's why boards bring in new leadership is because they do want some fresh blood with some new ideas, and we're going to do da-da-da-da-da. That's what I meant by your stamp. I don't mean it from an ego standpoint of like, this is mine, but more just, okay, we've got fresh blood.
For sure. I think first it was really, the thing I hear a lot, though, is, got big shoes to fill. Man.
Well, that's okay.
But here's the thing. That's Agnes's legacy. right? Those are her shoes.
Yep.
And she's the one that put mileage
And you have
on
your
that.
own shoes.
And it's not my job to assume that legacy. It's my job to take care of it. And it's a really important
build
difference.
upon it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's, I think that it was really important to me to really think about what it means to take care of all of the work that she has put in and all of the folks that have come before me at that organization. And really honoring that. And yes, building upon that. So, I spent the first 3 months this year with Agnes, really just focusing on sort of this transition and learning from her. And my focus is strengthening the core of who WESST is, because what I think is that WESST is incredibly good at what it does. We have a really powerful beginning as an organization that I think we need to remember and hold on to in the present and carry forward. I see an organization that was started to support and help women, and now it's an organization where women lead serving New Mexicans.
Yep. I love that.
And I really want us to focus on strengthening what we do well and making sure that we can keep doing that for as long as possible. We have a long legacy. We got more to build. Okay. So my vision, I think when people ask, what's your vision for WESST? My vision is really getting to the heart of who WESST has always been and who WESST will always be. And that is really rooted in New Mexico.
Yeah, I love it.
So connecting to that, strengthening that, and then moving forward from there is, I think, really important. Just really getting clear on who we are. Okay. Let's wrap it up with a few non-businessy questions. What does Lindsey do for fun with all your oodles of free time? Oh man, I love to hike.
Okay.
I love to garden.
You do?
I do.
Flowers, vegetables, all of the above? Okay. Okay.
I like to consider myself a little bit of an anarchy gardener, where I sort of throw wildflower seeds here and there from time to time, and then I'll have my veggies over here. But yeah.
Okay. A little bit of chaos there?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
No.
I mean, that's nature.
That's right.
Okay.
I love to read. I read a lot.
Physical books?
It's a combo of books and audiobooks.
Okay.
When you're on the move, it's nice to get an audiobook in.
Oh, I'm the king of audiobooks and podcasts. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I have 3 dogs. I know, surprise.
Surprise. What kind of dogs?
3 variations of husky.
Okay.
I have a Pomsky.
Okay.
A Pyrenees husky mix, and then some kind of husky in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's part noodle, I think. And I do a lot of volunteering outside of work as well. So
you do a ton of volunteering.
It takes up plenty of my time. Yeah.
There's a whole page on your LinkedIn profile that talks about all this. Okay, I don't want to go through all of them, but is there one in particular you want to shout out to for your? Because I mean, these aren't just. I mean, you're on boards. Let's see, board member, Transgender Resource Center of New Mexico, DEI committee member, Assistance Dogs International. Board member, ABQ involved, and the list goes on.
It's hard to pick one. I really all of the organizations are so special.
Well, maybe talk
to me,
about your theme. What's your theme when it comes to your volunteer time? Is there a theme?
I really, social justice is at the heart of all of this. I mean, truly, even, Assistance Dogs International, it's nice to have that connection to helping organizations that are training assistance dogs, but particularly on an international scale, to be able to help talk about what it means to develop cultures of inclusion and equity. It looks different across the board when you're thinking from a global perspective. It really speaks to, that's why I went to school for social work.
Yeah, I get it.
The Transgender Resource Center is just precious to my heart for the work that it does. It's the only organization in the state of New Mexico that provides support to transgender folks. In the way that it does, it works a lot with EQNM, which is another organization that I love.
EQNM?
Equality New Mexico.
Oh, okay, cool.
So being on that board and being able to volunteer there is just really, really special to me, and the folks that are at that organization are incredible.
Got it.
And Albuquerque Involved is, it's this it's this working board that focuses on engaging through volunteer work, and also this this idea of all of us in a community can contribute a little bit so that we can give a little bit more, and really trying to make bigger impacts on different projects and organizations that are doing. There's so many things that are happening all the time in Albuquerque. Just Albuquerque, not even talking about the rest of the state. And so to be able to prop up some of these efforts, either through sweat equity or through a few dollars, and really seeing the impact of that, that's also pretty incredible too. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Lindsey, I mean, in your short 15-year history here in the state, you've really established yourself as an asset, for a community asset. Final question: if I'm young and I'm thinking about social work, nonprofits, give me some advice.
Oh, man.
Because this is your career. I mean, you're.
I'm just going to be diehard in nonprofit till I die. I'm pretty sure. I wondered for a minute when I made the switch, but no, I'm in it. I think.
Talk to young Lindsey.
I think. There's so much to learn, and you're just gonna. I think just being courageous. Being courageous and getting in there and rolling up your sleeves and trusting your gut. When you're called to do certain work to serve others, regardless of what that is, you really need to listen to that. And asking for help. There's so many people. Like I said, the community is the reason why I was able
I love that. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Don't be afraid to ask for help, because, if you're thinking it, there's probably a lot of other people that are thinking it too. If you're seeing a gap, then that means other people are probably seeing it too.
Got it.
So one of the things that can be the hardest is to be the one to go first. When you're one that goes first, that's what a lot of leaders do.
That's what you mean by be courageous?
Yeah. And it's okay.
Yeah.
And when you go first, it's easier for the next person to go
Totally.
after that. So sometimes you just have to be brave and go first. And it's okay to mess up. I tell you what, I learned more from messing up than I did from school.
Well, and honestly, that's because of our when I say our, I mean American society. We accept failure.
Yeah.
That other societies don't necessarily do that. That's actually why we're so entrepreneurial and innovative, is because failure is okay.
It is, yeah.
In fact, oftentimes here in the venture world, we want to see some failure.
Yeah.
We want to see, because really what we want to see is that you learned and you picked yourself up and you dusted yourself off and you went off in a different direction with those learning experiences.
That's that magic moment.
Exactly.
Is what do you do with the failure?
Exactly.
That is the thing that will determine what happens next. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Lindsey, thank you so much for spending time with me on Leaders of Enchantment podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.